Now it's our keynote session time. So I'm honored to introduce you all to our keynote speaker, Ms. Smriti Malhotra, Global HRD Head at Geneva, India. Smriti is a senior HR leader with extensive experience across ITES, banking, telecom, and manufacturing sectors, adept at integrating HR function with business strategy to drive profitability and growth. She excels in change management, building high-performing teams, and developing tailored talent management strategies. She is leading global and diverse team of HR professionals, institutionalizing best practices, building organization capability, and enabling the organization for ambitious achievement. She is an avid speaker and contributor to HR forums. Smriti is passionate about women and children upliftment. Please welcome Ms. Smriti Malhotra.
Thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful session. This session is equally yours. I want to keep the session interactive. It's not going to be one-way dialogue. And as it is, as women, we are really, really good at sharing our thoughts, aren't we? Yeah? So we'll make it interactive. And when I start this session, this is about diversity and inclusion. This is about equality. This is about the kind of policies that we need to have. This is about women leadership enhancement. And I'm sure this topic itself motivates us to be together, motivates us to do our best and march ahead and grab all those leadership positions which are lying over there for us to go ahead and grab them. So with that, rather than me talking first, I would like to have certain thoughts from your side. And we have, you would see on your table, there's a QR code. And there's certain, please scan that QR code. There's certain questions that we have for you. We would just give it 2 minutes for you to scan and quickly answer that. It's a very short one, maybe 3 or 4 questions. Thank you. So just keep adding your answers, keep submitting, and it will reflect over here. Is everybody good? Can you scan the QR code? You getting the questions? Easy, breezy? Thank you.
They can just let us know when we move to the next question. They can let us know.
No internet. I guess some have, some don't have. Okay. Another 30 seconds, we'll move to the next question. Okay. So nice one, it's moving. And in case you see, all of you, if you can see, the question is, do you feel that glass barrier and ceiling still exists? And 80% of the women in this group who've responded, they feel that yes, it does. We're going to talk about that. Let's move on to the next question. Let's have your thoughts quickly. What do you think is the impediment or the challenge for women in leadership role for advancement in the organizations? It's gender bias, balance, opportunities, male dominant, how true. Access to impactful opportunities, bias, imposed, yes, absolutely. Breaking the boys club and bringing in the girls gang should be there. Then insecurity, politics, strategic, some syndrome, I'm sorry, I'm not able to catch the full word. Perceptions, unconscious bias. So we have 44 of you given the answer. Imposter syndrome, very true. Mindset, okay. Support, there's lack of support. There's gender bias, unconscious bias, self-biases, inclusion, readily. Okay, self-valuation, how true? Underconfident women, yes. True that? So we have 54 of you who've participated. Let's quickly have next 20 seconds and we'll move on to the next question. Wanting to be perfectionist, how true? I guess half of the answers you've only given, from what I'm going to talk about. Nice. Very true. Can't get promotion over a beer. Can we get over a wine? In case somebody has a liking for wine? Patriarchy, visibility, perceptions. Men fear us. I guess they do to some extent, because emotionally I feel the women are much more stronger as compared to men. So somewhere I'm a little biased towards women. Okay, thank you so much. Can we quickly move on to the next question? And this is the last one, right? One thing that will help us to eradicate the glass barrier. Politics, assertiveness, self-confidence, educate the men, determination, effective policies, women supporting women, sisterhood, absolutely, advocacy, equal opportunity, ownership, courage, being vocal, self-confidence, support from management, be fearless, collaborate, mindsets, equal opportunity, yes, transparency. Can you try and remove this? There's certain words. Okay, transparency, speak up, resilience, self-belief, psychological safety, support from family, how true, how important. Okay. Another 20 seconds. If you could have more things, that can help us eradicate the glass barrier. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nikhil. So this brings us to the session for women leadership. What is it that I guess you have answered most of the questions from the presentation that I had prepared. I'm so happy to see that collectively, more or less, we are on the same page. We do understand that there are certain challenges. We do understand, what is it that we need to do to remove those challenges and actually pick a position at the top in the organization. And it is not about only the organization. It is, I guess, the personal leadership, the way we wish to take it forward. It is not limited only to the office, but in the society, it's a bigger purpose. How do we contribute to that? How do we take it forward? Let's move on. So that gives me a question. Are we living in two worlds? We are talking about equalities. We're talking about 50-50 everywhere. We're talking about, men and women, they are the same, whether we speak about the competence, whether we speak about the opportunities, it should be 50-50, but still, it looks like we are living in two different worlds, and I have certain statistics which definitely reflect that. The question is, or the endeavor is that how do we change it? So when we looked at, certain surveys from Forbes, there were 90% of the people who participated and who said that they'd worked under women leaders. First of all, any one of you has faced a challenge wherein you've seen certain resistance by some men or boys for that matter when you are leading, taking the direction. Could you please raise your hands? Some bit of resistance, it could be unsaid. Most of you are doing it. When you put across your point on the table, do you see that most of your points are not given as much air, as much value, maybe for the rest of the colleagues that you have? Could I see the hands, please? Okay. So that is what, but when the survey happened, the 90% of the people, when they worked, who have worked with the women, the survey happened, and out of that, 70% said that women are effective managers. And 49% said that women are highly effective managers. So we're talking about the competence here on the table, on the board table. Out of that, 38% said that they would prefer to work for a female boss, whereas about 26% said that they still want to work for a male boss or a man boss. 67% said, there was a positivity about women leading the organization. 38% said that, the leadership position, women should be good at leadership positions. 35% of them felt, 38%, sorry. 35% felt, no, the men are the better leaders. Then 55% said that managerial positions which are being held by women, they yield higher performance as compared to that of men. By men and women both. Yeah, it was done by Forbes, and that is how this is the kind of statistics that which were found. So we picked it up from a reference. When you go over there, women in the workplace for 2023, from one of the reports, women are 3% more likely to start the business as compared to men. Typically, it is said that women don't have the risk-taking ability. I've heard it many times, that risk-taking ability for women is less than as compared to men. And that is how men are much more successful when they start the business, whereas the survey says something very, very different. The gross receipts for women-owned employer firms have increased by 51.9% since 2012. So there's a lot of progress that we've made over there. It is estimated that about 849 new women-owned business open every day. It could be a cloud kitchen. It could be opening a big firm. It could be any business. But the women, they are taking initiative. They are opening their own business. They're becoming financially independent. And women-owned businesses employ as that of men. That means the pay parity is a question mark in the organizations. Then you see the entry-level wages tend to be lower for women as compared to men. There is a pay gap between men and women who are engaged in the similar kind of work. And this is especially in the professional jobs, executive level jobs, and skilled trades. This is again a data point which is worrisome. Seats in the parliament for women is 23%. If you see the CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, it is only 4% led by women. Rest is all men. Women still have a harder time finding a job as compared to a man. Could you please tell me the reason why? Any of the biases that you've come across in your organization while hiring? Okay. Okay.
And probably
Multiple. Thank you so much.
yeah, so women taking care of the family, so they won't be able to invest that much time, or they won't be able to balance the work and personal life, so that also is kind of a barrier, I think.
Working hours also depends, right? If the particular job demands night shift, or maybe a different shift which is not the regular one, 9 to 6, definitely there is a question mark that, oh wow, will she be able to manage with family and all? So these are all the biasness, right? Nobody has asked the woman that will you be able to manage or not. It's a perception that they'll not be able to.
Should not be able to.
Just adding to it, the mindset, what we're talking about, I think that's the major barrier. So besides the timing, if you look at the basic things, whether if there's a requirement for traveling, if there's a requirement for late stays, I think without even actually getting into the, the question, women probably will never get a chance to get or probably say her this thing. It's the perception which kind of precedes, and like I'm in a job where I travel for almost 12 days. And I am lucky to be in an organization which really supports women. So, but otherwise, had it been an organization where probably I would have never got this job, where they feel that, oh, women, she cannot travel. So I think it's all about the perceptions. There are a lot of things to it.
Thank you so much. I'll just take that ma'am's perspective and then I'll come back to you and then move on, keeping the time factor in
Yeah,
mind.
I'll add my perspective over here. It is one of the reason is that, and it is based on the study, that if there's a job opening and there are specifications for that particular requirement or opening, then men, even if they are 60 to 70% fit, they would apply for that position. Whereas the women, they will try to be like, they'll try to think they have to be fit 99% or 100%, and they may not even apply for the job, which, men would and may get even selected also.
Yeah, thank you so much. That goes the thing with the perfection.
A bigger one is also where people doubt that the women have the capabilities needed. And I'll give a practical example. If somebody is actually doing some calculations, and as a woman, you come out with a number, you solve it. Trust me, half the people will check it on their calculator and say whether you are right or wrong. Whereas a man would say, he would give the wrong figures, and yet it's all accepted. So I think women are by default thought of as people who don't have the capability enough to pick up a certain role.
No, thank you so much. Very valid points, and that is what it reflects in the surveys also. There is pay parity gaps. There is, difficulty in getting a particular job, and even before you've got assessed, and somebody is actually looked at your, your CV. The first perceptions only, make it a point, that you see through the CVs. Whom to pick up, whom not to pick up. So these are unconscious biases which have been set in the heads, I would say, for a long, long time. And I must say that these are the biases which are not only men are keeping in their heads. Believe you me, many women in the workplaces, they also had two biases. So let's move on, please. So breaking glass barrier, the role of DEI, flexible work and unbiased evaluations for leadership enhancement, advancement for women. What is it that we need to do? Let's move on. First of all, let's talk about the possible blocks which are there. Some of them have already been cited by you, but principally if we look at it, the inherent challenges which are there, which is the expectation, internal, the legacy which has been going on. And today I was just going through a video wherein a corporate woman, she's getting so frustrated being a mother. She says that who decided the role for fathers? Nobody is judging them. What time father is coming, what kind of time is he giving to the child, what value system is he inculcating. If the child is not well, is he waking up in the night, taking care of that? There's so many things. And whereas being a woman, you are being judged from the day one that you have to be the best mother in the world without a single flaw. Yeah? So these are certain legacies which have been coming up, which have been going on, whilst, there's a lot of respect. If I look at it, even in our culture, in the cultures, women are respected, they are being worshipped as well. But parallelly, there's a huge load of expectations that rests on women. And it becomes so difficult for them to break out of it. And all the time, you have to live up to the expectations, as if by the end of it, you will get a Tamra Patra. We keep waiting for it throughout our lives, don't we? We keep striving. Abhi to koi appreciate karega. Abhi to bacche dekhenge kitna kar rahi hai maa. Abhi to husband realize karega that you're going to the office, you're coming back home working. Abhi in-laws kahenge, wow, we couldn't have got somebody better than you. Isn't it? So that's the harsh reality, but can I blame the husband, the kids, the in-laws for not giving that accolade to me? I guess it would be unfair because I have put myself in that mold wherein I've been seeking the appreciation, validation, not taking the right steps, not finding time for myself, that what is it that I want, who am I? What gives me happiness? हम बहुत जल्दी बच्चों की happiness, husband की happiness, family की happiness को अपना happiness बना लेते हैं. And I don't know how many of you would actually have your girl gangs wherein you go out with them for some time and get your head back to your place to start the new day and to start getting into that clock time again? Do you have your girl gangs? Awesome, awesome. So that, believe you me, that's a deal breaker. That really, really is very refreshing. So the next one, when we talk about the value belief system, as I said, that value belief system has certain roles. It has been given that the women have to come in that mold and they have to work, they have to behave in that manner. It has been going on for quite some time. Nothing wrong with this. I'm not talking about in fact, irrespective of gender, we need to exhibit certain behaviors. We need to have certain value stream. But that should not be gender biased is all that I'm saying. Then if I talk about at the broader level, the places, the workplaces that we work in, there are, certain unconscious biases which comes out of the ecosystem at times. A very, nowadays the organizations, they have a mix and match. There's a lot of diversity with respect to, age diversity, gender diversity. For gender also, we're not limiting it only to men, women. We're becoming more inclusive. But still, there's some bit of legacy. Not each organization has become as mature to that level. Organizations are picking up. That is one of the barriers. The second is the thought process. The thought process is not only limited to, I would say, men. As I said, equally, I've witnessed many a times women more or less taking the same stances whilst hiring, whilst dealing. And at times, I've also felt that people say, a woman only says, कि अरे मुझे women boss के साथ काम नहीं करना है. I've heard that. So that is another aspect which could be the problem. The third one is enablement. Is the organization, is the ecosystem giving you enough opportunity to actually rise? In case you have challenges, you could have challenges. A new mother may not be able to give late hours time to you because she has to look after the child. And when I say new mother, physiologically, I don't think a father can fill in there. So there are certain challenges and there's some bit of, I would say, uniqueness to both men and women. The intent over here is not to demean the other person or not to say that the other person is less, be it a man, be it any gender. The intent over here is how do you adopt the uniqueness for each other and how do you fill up each other? How do you collaborate better so that it's an equal satisfaction for both or 3 parties, 4 parties, whosoever. So individually, it should be satisfying. Individually, it should be equal. So with that, we have a video. Before the video, the inherent challenges, I've already spoken about it, so I'm not going over there. We have a video. I'm a hardcore fan of Priyanka Chopra. She's a global icon. I keep listening to her videos. I keep listening to her speech. And the way the girl has risen, the way she has taken adversity to her advantage and made that a tool to go higher and higher is commendable. And there's a video from her which maybe, some of you could have seen or most of you could have seen, but it can't be less relevant for this forum. So let's look at that.
Because physiologically men and women are different, sir.
Okay,
there is no debate about it. Equality is not about physics. Oh my God, this is so basic. We have to get into it. Okay, when we talk about equality and opportunity, we talk about cerebral opportunity. We're not saying I want to be able to be 200 pounds like a man and beat the shit out of somebody else. We're not saying that. We're saying you get the ability to get the job, to be the CEO, and nobody questions when you're driven at 50 and have 3 children, how you're managing it all. Don't question me. That's what I'm saying. I can be a CEO and a mother.
So this is can all of you relate to it? Being a woman doesn't mean, for men and women, as I said, physiologically, both are unique. So yes, the mapping or the matching or the equality is not left to the physical differences. It is more cerebral. It is more to do with the competence, and wherein women are no less, and at certain areas, they even supersede the men. And I'll show you how. Let's move on. So if I talk about it, so what is the secret sauce which needs to be mixed with all the competence ingredients that each woman carries? How do we take it forward? How do we add it to the right flavor, right amount to be actually getting to the top positions? What do we need to do? So the change needs to be inside out. The change can't happen. I can't keep on sitting, keep on waiting for the change to happen outside. Ke bahar. Who all have seen this movie? There was this Life in a Metro. Yeah? There's a dialogue that happens over there. Irfan Khan, again, one of my favorites, late Irfan Khan. There's this dialogue that happens over there when he says that my friend had a car, and he said that the day the roads are totally empty, I will take out my new car. And the other person says that will never happen. You'll keep on waiting. How would you know the roads are empty or not till the time you take the car out? And that is the whole thing. It has to be inside out. Till the time you don't make an effort, till the time you don't go over there, come out of that shell that no, I have to grab it, make the right effort. How will you grab those opportunities? So the initiative, first initiative has to come from you. The first support has to be asked by you. There's no harm in asking for support. Be it in the family or in the corporate, it's all right. I shouldn't have the fear of being judged. Because I'm a woman, I'm going and I'm telling you that I need this help, it's all right. So the first initiative has to be taken up by you. And when we say how, it is unlearn, relearn, revisit. When I say unlearn, if I talk about the legacy and the, whatever the biases which are set, these are there in our minds as well. It's not only that only the men or the other genders are having these biases. We also have these. And we need to remove that. We need to unlearn that. We need to relearn the new habits. And we need to keep on revisiting what is working for me, what is it that is not working for me. So it's not a one-time plan or one-time agenda. It's going to be a continuous journey for us. When I talk about the career smashing habits, I've specifically, most of it, I guess you already did fill up in the questions, but I'm going to talk about it a little in detail. Disease to please. Don't we have that all the time? Saying yes, oh ये भी मेरे बारे में अच्छा बोले, oh वो भी मेरे बारे में अच्छा बोलना चाहिए, oh हो उसने मुझे इतना खराब बोल दिया, कैसे I have to improvise. So this disease to please, be it in the corporate world, be it in your job, be it in your house, please don't do that. It's all right. Anybody can make mistakes. I can't be pleasing 100% of the people. It's like typically that barat, जिसमें आप कुछ भी छप्पन भोग भी रख दीजिए, फिर भी कोई बोल ही जाएगा, अरे बाकी ठीक था, पर ये थोड़ा खराब रह गया. So that will all, you'll never be able to please 100%. So just leave that till the time you're at peace, that you're doing your best, you're not doing anything wrong, it's all right. You may rub off people a little bit in your journey, that's so all right, it's okay. Then you have not creating a support system. This is a really big one. When we transition from, I would say from being single, we get married, and I guess the biggest thing is your career clock is not in sync with your maternity clock. The moment you're about to reach that mid-level and it's time for you to take a leap, it is also time, it is your bio clock totally goes out of sync with your career clock. It is time for you to have by nature, by virtue of nature, to have kids. That's all right. It's all right to have kids, but please ensure that before you go that route, you will slow down a little. It will happen, irrespective how competent you are, irrespective how good you are, irrespective what you feel internally. Believe you me, you will go a little slow at that time. At that time, take that slow period in your stride. It's all right. but parallelly start working for the support system. Pull your mother-in-law, pull your mother, pull your friends, pull your brothers, sisters, pull your husband very well. Okay? Along with that, please take the help whosoever can help you. And then take your career. There could be a little slowdown over there, but you will pick up the pace. Because kids grow up very fast. Kids are really, really flexible as compared to us. The kind of habits that you will put them on, they will learn it. आप सारा time लेके बैठेंगे कि ओहो, he doesn't get down. I've seen people holding the kids, moving all the time. So नहीं रहा है बच्चा. Believe you me, that is the satisfaction as a new parent we have. I've gone through that. If you put the child to sleep, if you take care of the health, if you take care, follow what your doctors have told you, and of course the elders, they also do guide us. It's all right. Take support system, build that support system so that after an X period of time, you can go back and you can get into your career again. You can start that again.
Even the Indra Nui, I have heard her one small clip wherein the same question and same problems wherein everybody is asking, how are you managing? And I have learned a concept called foster parenting. And that's the concept which has actually helped lots of women in career, wherein foster parenting, create foster parents around. Even if you are at home or you are working, create foster parenting that actually helps us to elevate our career.
That's exactly what we need to start doing, and we should stop thinking that I'm the best one to take every decision and I have to do everything by myself. It really doesn't work.
A term I've coined for myself, which really works for me as a working woman, I would like to share in this forum, is the 3 M's in that order. So the first M is, the mother or the mother-in-law who takes care of your child, because once, that stress is out of your mind, you can focus better whether you're traveling or at work and doing long hours, right? The second M is the maid, all the helpers and the cleaners, and that support system that you talked about is very important to create. I think we earn and we must spend on all this support system, otherwise there's no point earning that money and not being able to use it for your own benefit and support. Last but not the least, it's the men around, your partner, your mentors, anyone who's your ally. We need that support as well, besides the girl gang and the support system.
Absolutely, bang on. I like this 3M concept.
So I'll just add, this is from the scriptures actually, which is said that it takes a community to raise a children. So we have to allow the community to influence. But nowadays it's going child-centric families instead of parent-centric. It's not really helping because you're not allowing the community to influence. You're just trying to raise by yourself. So all this problem will be solved.
No, thank you so much. But let me tell you, as human beings, we are really greedy. When we are single, we want to enjoy our life our ways. When we get married, we don't want family. We want freedom. We want to live our way. And actually, when we become parents, then all of a sudden you realize the value of that joint family. It so happens, I'm telling you, that's typical mindset, and that is the time you feel, oh my God, there are so many benefits of staying together. Definitely, the kind of inputs, value system, all the elderly people in our houses, they bring a balance to our such a fast-running life. So everything is required. There has to be a balance. Thank you so much to that point. Then we have the pursuing perfection. We've already spoken about it. I will try to strive to be 100% rather than kind of, I need to pick and choose what kind of perfection will do with certain things. And I need to make I wouldn't say compromise, but I need to make a comfort with that. Then ruminating beyond burnout. You burnt out, but you still keep on overthinking. There's a challenge for women typically to overthink, and I always say that men, they are very clear, there are very clearly called out boxes in their heads. When they are sitting in their lounge zone, thinking nothing, there is a box for that. They're very happy for that. Then they need to spend time with the wife, they'll come to the next box. They need to go to work, they'll move to the next box. Whereas women, the mind, it's all jumbled up. There are too many wires, interlinked all the time. One moment you're talking about the presentation, the next moment you're thinking, bacha aaya school se ya nahi aaya. Third, let me tell the maid, gas band kar dena. So that is the way we work. But at times we need to kind of untangle all that and give some peace to ourselves as well. Then we have vision, radar versus laser. Many a times this is similar. You have the radar vision, you're looking at everything at the same time, whereas certain situations may demand you to come out of that and keep it laser specific on the thing at hand. Whether you're there in the office, you have a presentation or a project to complete, be focused on that. So we need to have that. Then fair to fail, that's another fear linked to the perfection, which stops them to go full on. Imposter syndrome is another one wherein you're not confident about yourself. So that is something nobody else can help you. You need to help yourself. You can help yourself, you can help other women being their mentors. Not being at ease with power. That's another important one. When we have, we're there at the office, many a times we keep thinking, Arey, isko bura na lag jaye. Should I be this upfront with this person? Or should I try to go a little easy? Okay, this is one time, let it be. Maybe next time I'll take it up strongly. They become uncomfortable with the power that they have, and they think through a lot before taking a decision, and the right decision. That could be another reason. Not identifying and breaking the pattern. Breaking the pattern is very, very important. When in life you're getting stuck because of certain pattern, it could be a habit, it could be a routine, it could be a person, please break it there and then. Stuck at the plateau, that's another one. We've achieved certain heights. Over there I get stuck. Now how do I take the next leap? What gets you there or what got you there won't take it's me time or no, that's partner's problem. Okay. So if you see out of that, this activity really helps, and there's a line that we've written over there, that are you happy with your share of pie? Are you happy with minimal time given as me time? Yeah? You can't be happy for that. एक simple सा rule है. If I can't be selfish. If I work for my family, if I work for my organization, if I work for society, my first responsibility is towards me. I have to take care of myself. I have to have that mental peace. I should be mentally, physically, psychologically, emotionally happy. Only then I can go ahead and take charge of my family. Only then I can take charge of my loved ones, contribute, help them. Only then I can go ahead and, contribute towards my organization. And the irony of the things is, in the whole scheme of things, the me time is the minimal that we keep for ourselves. And believe you me, half of the time, even if we get some bit of me time, we keep on feeling guilty about it. We keep on thinking 10 different things ke ye task mere pade hue hain. So my suggestion, my advice, my request to you is that please ensure your well-being. First and foremost, you have to, if you don't want to be selfish, the selfish person will not take care of his or her own health. The first point is you need to take care of your health, which is physical, mental, emotional. Help yourself so that you can help others. प्लेन में भी बैठते हैं तो बोलते हैं ना, दूसरों की सहायता करने से पहले खुद की सहायता कीजिए. दूसरों को मास्क देने से पहले खुद मास्क पहनिए, क्योंकि खुद सांस लेंगे तो दूसरों को भी हेल्प कर पाएंगे. So keep that mantra, in your head. Take this pie chart back to your home. आपकी जो भी विजिबल जगह है प्लीज़ वहाँ लगा लीजिए, रोज़ उसको देखिए and ensure that you work towards it. We're not saying less or more. If we can achieve a perfect blend of 4 quadrants, nothing like it. As I said, we strive for balance, inward out, outward in. Let's move on, please. We need to look at the bigger purpose. As I said, it's not only about you and me over here. It is not only about the corporates. It is not only about the houses. It is about the society. It's a much larger purpose wherein we need to equally participate. All the genders will be required to equally participate. But since you have to be a little, I would say, take additional initiative over here because there's personal interest also that is there in this. And that is how, as a woman, you have to take certain steps towards it. Let's move on. Then there's a last bit of activity that I've kept for you as we drew the 4 quadrants. There are cards lying there on your table like this. This is again a card. Please keep it with you. You could have already taken up certain initiatives out of it, but in case you have not, I would like to keep it as a, I would say, reminder, and maybe take up one thing or the other and say that this is the way I'm going to contribute to this purpose this year. You can pick up anything. You think you can do that? You think you can do that? See, the first habit is I have to acknowledge, I have to agree, I need to have the acceptability towards it. The second step is I want to do it. What is it that I want to do it? And in case somebody feels that I don't have the time for it, even that's all right. No rights or wrongs. Are we good? Yeah, you think you can pick up, these are very simple ones. Starting as, somebody over here said, empowering your mate, maybe sponsoring education for somebody, maybe mentoring a lady or a girl or somebody known. Very easy, breezy steps. You think you can pick up any one and do it this year? Yes, no? Very nice. Whatever you already doing, wo to ho gaya na, additional target lo. Let's take additional target na. Any one thing that you can pick up? Okay. Absolutely, you could tell the women not to make the same mistake. I was again seeing another video which said, very relevant for the younger women, pick up the career, chase the career, don't chase boyfriends. Important one. I have a teenage daughter, believe you me, I'm struggling with that to portray that message across to her right now. Okay, career will last. So that's it. Secondly, financial independence is a must. So that's it from my side. Any questions, anything anybody wants to ask? Could we have somebody to be giving the mic over there? Can I take some help from somebody? Have somebody?
Hello. Hi. There is this issue. How do you address the women who take maternity leave? They get promotion later because that part of the career is minus from their experience. While it is we are talking about society, inclusivity or ESG and whatnot, an environment, is raising a child not part of our nature or environment? And is it the child I am raising only for myself and not for my husband? So if my husband gets all dues and I don't get, for 6 months later I get, or I am also considered that because of not working for those 6 months, I have not only lost those 6 months, but I also have lost some of my experience and faculties and things like that, which I may have muddled with the child raising. So top management, I have heard top management saying that you cannot get the same level of raise or lift if you go for maternity leave. So we said, okay, enable work from home. But then they said, okay, you have to continuously log in and you'll be all the time visible. Then how do I raise my child, my infant? And it is a very, very important issue, I feel, that we should take up for at least the future mothers, because our children are already grown up. But it's a great issue. I was lucky. I had those 3M, my child.
support.
Yeah, I did have those support. But there are many who may not have, even if they want. There are mothers who may not have a healthy child. So how do you, address this?
Address this? No, that's a very valid question and important one. And since, the problems that you've cited, I've recently, two of my team members who've come back from maternity. And yes, the questions that you're raising are very valid. But over there, we need to have a bit of different thought. I look at it slightly differently. When I'm talking about equal competence, when I'm talking about equal contribution, over there, as I earlier said, by virtue of certain physiological changes, by virtue of certain priorities at your personal level, you may have to slow down a little. And from the organization perspective, the organization can't be biased just for the heck of it because you've become mother. Excellent, it's good news. Please enjoy the new phase in your life. You need certain leaves, please go ahead, take the leaves because that's the personal priority. But at the same time, the organizations have to be absolutely bias-free in looking at it, that this is the period of slowdown. If I look at promotions, I have to look at the continuity of 1 year for the person to perform. I can't be biased towards a woman who, for any reason, and a beautiful reason, I would say, those 6 months of contribution were not there. How can I go and justify to the other people who've given a year full of contribution? And this is not the end of the world. You've taken 6 months, you can't struggle. Ma'am, I just said that women ka head mein puri sab crosswire, Chandni Chowk ki तारों की तरह है. चारों तरफ फैली हुई कुछ भी वायर कहीं से भी निकल के कनेक्ट कर रही है.
Madam, if some young women, as it is, the fertility rates are falling and they are not wanting to have children, this the current generation or upcoming generation, if they decide, okay, career is important, so I will not have a child, what are we going to land up with in this world?
No, ma'am, that's a very individual choice, I would say.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying that is an individual choice. But as a collectively, what are we talking about? If I do not give the equality.
Sorry, ma'am, these are two different topics altogether. What we are talking about is for women coming back from maternity. Over there, we have to be justified and we have to be fair and square. I can't be saying that I just let go of somebody's hard work of 1 year, because promotions are also finite. In the organization, the increment amount is also finite. I have to be absolutely fair and square to everybody over there. That's one point. And as a new mother also, I feel it would, my suggestion, again, because when I conceived, I actually took a good career break of near about 9 months. That's the first break that I took, 9 months to 1 year. The second career break I took was when my child started going to school. I was working with Barclays, I was working in UK shift. Invariably, I was meeting my child only during weekends. So that is the conscious call that I took, that I need to move out of this job and look for something else that balances what I want. We want everything, na? I want ghar bhi chahiye, job bhi chahiye, money bhi chahiye. Or usme, if my mindset is not correct, I may earn thousands of rupees and I may still not enjoy that money. So that's a conscious call. Coming to the second question, wherein it's a relevant point that, girls these days or the kids these days.
I am not talking about that. I am saying it may act as a deterrent to have this management not giving you the lift and concession for those 6 months or may become a deterrent for a person to have a decision on parenting.
I really don't think so. I really don't think so, because for that the value stream is there, and anything just because आपकी 1 साल की एक promotion रुक रही है, I don't think anybody could let that empower or let it put a pressure on me or the reason for me not to have children. The children may still not decide to get married. Live-in is pretty common these days. They still decide that they don't want children क्योंकि उनको पता है अपने parents को कितना tough time दे रहे हैं.
Smriti,
कैसे आगे जाके उसको झेलेंगे? But that's a different question altogether.
well,
I don't
Smriti,
think
guys, so Miss Smriti with us throughout the evening. Please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much, Smriti. Please, huge round of
so
applause.
much. Thank you. Sorry for, exceeding
No,
the
thank you so
time.
much. Amazing session, so insightful. Moving on, I would like to call Ms. Divya Malik, MD of Vet IT India, and Ms. Smriti Malhotra. Ma'am, please come on stage to felicitate her. And I would like all of you to please use your applause.